I'm Jem, I'm 23 years old, and I don't know what I'm doing. Here's why that's okay. So for pretty much my entire life, blame it on too many books, too many movies, my OCD, you can learn more about that here, or just me, but I always thought that I would have a very concrete plan in life to follow. I mean, think about every realistic fiction book you've ever read. The main character has a dream college they want to get to, and a dream subject they want to study to get them towards their dream job, right? And usually, assuming that's what the book is about, they will succeed in one or all of those goals. Usually it just goes at the college level, but then I assume they would continue succeeding because they're book characters, so of course they would, right? Even in less realistic types of media, like fantasy, the main character has a concrete goal, so they need to save the world, or discover their magic powers, or, I don't know, find the lost sword of Zoltar. I don't know. But they still achieve that goal. That's what I thought my life would be like. Not finding a magical sword. That would be fun though. Can I make that my life? In all seriousness, when I was a kid, I had really rigid thinking patterns. So if someone said, we're going to the grocery store tomorrow at 10 a.m., I would assume that was what was going to happen, and if it didn't happen, I would get distressed. Now, the distress could vary based on how much I wanted to do the thing, but at the very least, it would be an annoyance, and I would keep asking, so when are we going to the grocery store? Because you said we were going to the grocery store, and if they said, well, plans have changed, my brain couldn't really accept that. Like, it would just irritate me and stress me out, and that was very frustrating. But that has carried on to some extent into my adult life, as well as with my perfectionism, which is a huge issue of mine and something that I'm still really working on. But I don't think it really hit me until after I graduated college how hard it is for me not to have a plan. When I was in college, I changed my major, like, a lot. I didn't have a dream job or one dream subject to study because I love learning. I loved studying things. And I didn't really have the story that I felt like so many people had where, you know, ever since I was 5 years old, I wanted to be a marine biologist or something because I saw a shark at an aquarium. I don't know. And I thought that made me the odd one out, that I was the freak, the one who just couldn't decide on anything and who couldn't, you know, make choices. I'm also a very indecisive person, so that was just one more little bit of ammunition that I could use to hurt myself, you know? But according to several therapists I've had, as well as conversations with friends, the ideal experience that I was thinking of was actually not the norm, but the outlier. And it's really common for people to change. And as my current therapist has been telling me, nothing is forever. So even if I had a dream job right now, or I started a dream job, in, I don't know, 20 years, I could change and I could find a new dream job. And that's really hard for me to accept because I like things to be planned out and concrete. I like to know what I'm doing. I like to have an idea of what I'm doing, and I like to be able to control it. I really, really like to be able to control it. And I can't with this. Add in the pandemic and everything else that's going on. I've been unemployed since technically last December, if you want to think about it, and I mean December of 2019. I spent my last semester at college without a job to focus on my thesis and everything. Although really it only felt like I was unemployed since May because I was still in school, so I was doing other stuff. But yeah, I always thought at the very least when I graduated from college, I would get a job or go to grad school. Obviously, neither of those things happened, but I'm still here. And I think part of me can't really believe that because I have another quirk, let's call it, where I think that if I can't picture myself doing something like in my head, it's not going to happen. I know that's not how life works, but I think part of me thinks it is how life works, if that makes sense. So, like, I can't see myself as a doctor, so clearly I will never be a doctor. But I could be. Like, who knows? I'm not psychic. I don't know what the future holds for me. Anything is possible. Not to sound too, you know, corny or whatever, but it's true. I got a degree in German, but I could end up, I don't know, dog training. And I think, I don't know, maybe it's just me, maybe it's the culture as a whole, but I think there's a lot of pressure to know what you want to do at a very young age and then stick with that plan. And even if the rest of our peers don't have that figured out, we just assume that they do. And so we put more pressure on ourselves and more pressure on ourselves and more pressure on ourselves. And then, well, if you're me, you have several breakdowns and go on psych meds. And you guys know I've been through some stuff, but we're still here. So awkward finger guns, right? I'm sick. And that's another thing that didn't factor into my plans. I was ready for the new year. I was gonna say, okay, I'm gonna upload every week again. It's gonna be great. And then I got really sick. I still am sick. I'm wearing sweatpants under this. I put on makeup and clothes specifically to film this video so I would have something for you guys for Sunday. So I'm a little bit all over the place is what I'm trying to say. I also didn't sleep last night. Things are going great. I guess my point is that life is weird and life is unpredictable and it can't be planned. And even if you plan it out to the nth degree, something like a global pandemic comes and just pushes all your plans aside and is like, nope, you thought you had your life planned? You're wrong. And I don't know, it's something I need to be more okay with, and I just wanted to sort of assure anyone who's going through the same situation that it's okay. It's okay if you're still unemployed and you're in your 20s and you're living at home and you have no idea what you're doing with your life, but you just need to find a job, any job, to, start getting some money in so you can plan for your future. It's fine if you're in high school and you don't know what you want to do after high school. You don't have one subject that you excel in or a dream college. I picked my college based on aesthetics. I thought the campus was pretty. And when that didn't work out, I picked a college that was closer to me so I could get tuition reciprocity, if we're being honest. And that had languages, because I was like, well, languages are kind of fun. So I picked my exchange country because they would let me in because I was older than most exchange students and because I had never been before, and I thought, it's a small country, why not? I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's okay. Wherever you're at in life, it's okay. And I don't know if I'm getting that across very well because my brain is in like a million different places. It's something I haven't accepted. I'm going to be honest, I am not okay with where I am right now, but I'm trying to be. I think maybe if more people can get that, then we're going to save our mental health at least a little bit. Cause yeah, it's a rough time. We're rounding the year of a pandemic, like a full year since this started, and that's insane to me. I can remember talking with my best friend, debating if it would be over before summer vacation, because how could it not be? Because we needed to graduate, we needed a graduation ceremony. And now it's a year, but we're all still here, and now I'm rhyming, I guess. But we're still going. Be easier on yourself. Don't beat yourself up too much. Obviously, still have that motivation, still have that drive, and if you have a dream, go for it. But if you don't, feel free to explore and figure it out and know that now isn't forever. And I'm just speaking in platitudes, but I hope some of this makes sense. I just hope if you watch this, you feel a little bit better, because God knows I'm not perfect, and maybe that's relatable. I hope you guys had a good weekend. I will hopefully see you next Sunday, assuming I heal and am somewhat more coherent, but we'll see. Bye.